Good morning, everyone. Today we continue with our online lectures since we're getting our physical space ready. We're going to talk today about our evolution. But before we start, let's do a little prayer to connect with the good spirits so we have a good time together here. Let's close our eyes and elevate our thoughts to Jesus. Let's connect with our mentors and the spiritual TSS team that's here with us today. Let's ask them for guidance, for positive insights for this online study today, and may we pay attention to the message that's going to be particularly given to each one of us. It's going to be a 45-minute to an hour long time together, and some of the teachings and learnings today will be specific to each one of us. And let's ask that we have a very productive time together here. And may we start this study in peace. Thank you, and so be it. All right, let me share your screen. We're going to be talking about our spiritual evolution. Everything here today is based on the Spiritist book from Allan Kardec. If you are new to Spiritism or not, good morning, Denise. If you're new to Spiritism or not, this is a go-to book for literally all your questions because it is a book based on questions and answers. So you don't have to even follow the whole book from the beginning to the end. You can go back and forth through different themes that you want to learn more regarding to Spiritism. So today, everything I'm going to present here today was based on the Spiritist book. And I hope it's going to be a good learning and study that we're going to have today. Hello, Patrick. Good to have you guys. Let's start with a little recap from things we have seen before. There was a heavy lecture study that I presented once regarding where do we come from, and we as we can recap for those who saw, and a little review for everyone who hasn't seen it yet. There are two main things that exist on the universe besides God. So we have the spiritual part of beings, and we have the physical part of beings. The spirits are individualizations of the intelligence principle. So we have a side of us that is our mind, that's our intelligence. And we have the physical body that we can see and touch. How and when this spirit was individualized from this source of spiritual intelligence, we don't have the answers for that yet. But there was a main, as I called last time, a main basket of information, intelligent source. And that's where the spirits come from. We're going to talk about spirits today. So it's important that we know where we come from. And we come from this infinite source of spiritual matter, a spiritual source, I call a basket. So we have a spiritual basket and we have a material basket. So our the spirits come from the spiritual side, and the bodies come from the material principle. Let's try to keep that in mind throughout our presentation. And just the creation from this spiritual basket, if I can say, it never ceases. So there's always spirits being created, individualized, of course, through a very long process from this intelligent principle. And it's a continuous creation, okay? The question 87 from the Spiritist book asks, do spirits occupy a specific circumscribed region of space? And the answer uh, uh, from these spirits, they said the spirits are everywhere. I put some pictures there to give us an idea, because we don't see them. It's hard for us to grasp the idea. First of all, I put this space picture to clear it from our minds that we're the only ones, we're the only intelligent beings in the whole universe. And that's not true. So spirits are everywhere. When we are in trouble, there's always someone trying to help us. When we go to the bad side of life, drinking, addictions, any bad behavior that we have, any sin we're close to commit, there's always someone also pushing us to do that. Or when we're studying, when we're developing our spiritual side, when we're developing our intellectual side, there are spirits a little bit more involved that will also be with us. And chances are there's someone you can't see with you right now. I know I'm doing this presentation here, and I doubt I am alone here. I know we are all guided and watched by good spirits when we're doing good things. Like the last picture says, the guy's they're studying and someone is guiding him. Or whenever we're in despair and we think we're alone suffering, we're not. We have our spiritual family that's on the other side. Everybody who discarnates is there. Some people that may not even we don't remember them from this life, but the bottom line is that we're never alone. Through difficult times, through bad times, like in addiction times or doing bad things, there's always support from people like that too, spirits like that. And when we want to improve ourselves, help the planet, help humankind, they're constantly on our side. When you walk on the street, we see people coming in by. That's how spirits can be found too on Earth. So it's important to keep a radar. And the more we connect with spirituality, the more we can feel the little nuances, the little proofs that we're not alone, that they are literally around us all the time. So it's important to keep that in mind. The spirits populate the infinite space. As we saw, we keep on being created and we keep on being everywhere. Um, the next question, question 9: how spiritual spirits travel through space? Well, if they're everywhere, how do they get there? How they move? We walk, we take cars, bus, TTCs, any kind of transportations, airplane. Well, when we discarnate, we go somewhere, and we're gonna want to continue moving and doing things. Some spirits, and I highlight some parts in red because it's related to the theme of today. A spirit can be perfectly aware of the distance it crosses, or such distance may seem to disappear completely. Um, those are pictures. The two images I have here is from from a movie, from under Darlie's movies, Our Home. The middle one, those are discarnated. Those are spirits. Those are people that have passed. They died, and they're in a spiritual city. And due to the level of their evolution, they need cars. They need physical because it's physical. Even though we're on the other side, it's a very subtle matter. But there is everything, homes and there's structures and I think this is like a streetcar or a little bus that will take those people somewhere because they have to go distance in this astral city. Some are evolved, as you can see on the last picture. Those are mentors. Those are when we sleep, they come to help us at night. They come to talk to us, take us to places, and they don't need that kind of transportations. They're a little bit more evolved. They can flow through space. They can transport themselves without the help of anything else. And we have even more evolved spirits, which is the first image here. They can simply appear somewhere because they evolved enough to be able to do that. So it all depends on the spirit's will and the degree to which its nature is purified. So we're going to talk in a few slides. Everything depends on the moral elevation that we encounter ourselves. I see Leo's here too. Hello, Leo. So let's go to the next one. This one, maybe it can be too technical. It's something that's very rare, but it's good that it also exists. It's called ubiquity, which is an ability that we have to kind of, it's not divide, but to spread ourselves to different places. Like the sun irradiates sunshine through different distance, places distance away. Can a spirit be at various points all at the same time? A spirit cannot be divided up. However, each one is a center radiating in different directions. And that's why it appears to be in many places all at the same time. The power of irradiation depends on their degree of purity. Maybe we have a little bit of that power when we try to send a prayer. It's a little reference that I can give to it. When we send our thoughts, it goes places, right? And when we irradiate our thoughts, so some spirits can have this power to expand and to irradiate to other places simultaneously. Again, that's a more rare occurrence or ability. Next slide is about plurality of worlds. Are all the globes spinning through the space inhabited? That's something that's a little hard for us to grasp at the moment. Yeah, we think about the first image of the space, and we see it was. I remember when I was young, an older child, and my dad mentioned that to me, that there was life in other planets, and I was like, "Huh." I will never forget the shocking moment of that idea to me. But the answer, yes. God has populated all worlds with living beings. There's always life. We don't see it. Doesn't the organic matter is not the same as planet Earth, but there is. We just can't see. And all working towards the final objective, providence. So there's a purpose on everything, and our evolution will take us to different places, different planets, more evolved. Well, hopefully, we're trying to become better here so we can go to better places, to higher places. Today we need to take transports. Maybe the goal is for us to be able to help others and to volitate. I can say that in English. I don't know if that's on the word in English, but to float through space, or even to just appear in places that we need that to help. And the lighter we become, the more evolved we are, we're going to be able to do that. The different orders of spirits. Are always spirits equal? Or is there some kind of hierarchy among them? And that's basically our evolution comes from the hierarchy of spirits, which is the theme suggested for me to present today. They are of different orders according to their individual degree of self-purification. We'll see that the difference between spirits, like the order of spirits, the how elevated and how developed they are, it can be infinite numbers. But we're going to see in the next slide that, well, maybe not this one, but the next one, the after that. There are three classifications, and so how we classify them, how the spirits are classified them, it's based on their degree of development, as I said. So the qualities that they have acquired, the imperfection that they still have that they need to get rid of. So I think today we're like this image. We have the not so great qualities about us. We have some very good ones, but when put to test, when we go into the temptation, it's a little iffy on how we're going to succeed or not, right? So the classification is based on everything that we built in a positive side, everything that we have achieved, and all the little negative baggage that we still have on us. And that's how we're going to classify spirits or not, and that's what we're going to discuss today. So are there a set of numbers of orders of degrees of purification among spirits? Again, it's like almost infinite, the different levels between every single spirit, but they classify into three principal orders, and that's the juice of today's presentation. How does Kardec classify them? Because we know that Kardec is the responsible for spiritism. He was a scientist who he was not a medium. He never saw spirits, but he was invited to some soirées in French, uh, those night gathering in France, and some of those gatherings were presented with spiritual manifestations, and that's how everything started in France. As a researcher, as a very intellectual oriented, logical mind, he decided to study those events. And among many other things that he wrote, based in his 5 books can help anyone try to understand spiritism better. He classified the spirits. Every spirit that he encountered, he really studied deeply. If you can watch the movie Kardec on Netflix, if you haven't yet, it was an excruciating, tired mission, and he fulfilled with high scores. So we give respect to everything that we studied today, because it was not just someone decided to write something and we're going to follow it. No, as a scientist, as a deep support of logic and science, he did really well, and it makes really a lot of sense to me, being a spiritist, and it's thanks to him. So he watched, he observed the spirits, he judged his words. He was a smart guy. So how the spirits would talk and act, he really got to know them, and was able to actually classify. And afterwards, he classified them according to their similarities, basing our classifications on the data they themselves had furnished us. So the spirits present themselves. He only analyzed them and gave the reports throughout the books to us. So this classification is not absolute. It's like a rainbow. You know how the colors change from one level to the other? I'm going to talk about the classification. And this classification is very, the line between them are very, subtle, and but they evolve. And let's talk about that. So what are the 3 orders? So we have the pure spirits, when we reach perfection and we can't go anywhere else. Sorry, it's missing. No, yeah, it's good. We have the good spirits, which is the in-between stage. The imperfect, and then we have the imperfect spirits. So the imperfect spirits, they're very materialistic. They're here and they have no knowledge or willing to know about God or to think about there is something else. It's all about matter. It's all about matter. Nothing positive to them. The good spirits, they have a little bit of both. They have a spiritual nature. They have a desire to practice good, but some stuff is still attached to earthly matters. And then the pure spirit, the highest degree, it's a purified spirit. It's done its work, doesn't even need to come to planet Earth because it's one of the planets that are not so evolved. Um, and yeah, so we're gonna discuss these three classes today. And as the title says, it's our evolution. So the goal is to go from imperfect spirits. All of us have found ourselves there. Most of us may be still there here on this planet, but the goal is to become pure. And the goal, and one day we will achieve that, to become a pure spirit. Under the imperfect spirit, we have pride, we have selfishness, we have all the evil passions. We tend to do bad things in this class. Some people, they don't do good, they don't do evil stuff. They're here because they don't have desire to do good. What makes us go to the next step is at least having within us desire to do something good. And while in the imperfect level, even if you don't do bad, you're still imperfect. And you're going to be classified here. They can be intelligent. We have two wings that we need to develop to become a pure spirit. One wing is the moral, it's the desire to do good, it's the heart. The other wing is the intelligence. We need to develop our minds. So to reach the top, as I say, we need two wings. We can't fly alone. No matter how intelligent, how super evolved mind and fast, and some people look at you and you clearly say you're not from this planet because you know things that you know. But that doesn't not going to make you a pure spirit, because you need the moral wing. You need to develop your heart. You need to evolve morally. And when you have both developed to its purest level, highest level, then we're going to be a pure spirit. But until then, a bird cannot fly with only one wing. So some spirits here can have intelligence, but because they don't work on their knowledge is not used to do anything good, they're going to be at the bottom. The imperfect spirits. So there are some classifications within this level. We have impure, frivolous spirits, pseudo-learned, neutral spirits, and I'm going to read a second description, disturbing spirits. So the bottom of the pyramid are the impure spirit. Those impure spirits are the ones that are really inclined towards doing bad stuff, evil. They have their passions, sensuality, cruelty, hypocrisy. It's really not the place to be at. They actually don't like the good. Just a real recap. Let's zoom out a little bit. The theme is spirits. We learned that they're populating everywhere. When we walk on the street, when we sit in the backyard, or go to a park, when we go to work, they are everywhere. And those classification of spirits may be around you, because we're in a planet that's not so evolved. Our planet is in the middle bottom class. So that's the topic of today. Be aware that there are spirits, there are impure, as bad as this. So sometimes we get ideas, We have to know where they come from. What kind of classification is the idea that's coming to your mind, right? What kind of ideas do you resonate and you click and you, oh, so hopefully it's not from the impure spirits. And then we have the frivolous spirits. They're, well, they're not intelligent. They're they're thoughtless. Um, they just like really annoying and being, you know, just like being annoying, creating intrigues, just for the joy of annoying. They're not so bad, but they're definitely not focused on anything neutral or good or nothing. It's just like, annoying people around, killing their times. We have the pseudo learned spirits. So here we have some spirits that actually have some intelligence. They have knowledge, but the they how can I say, maybe they have the pride, and when you know something and you start to believe that you're the best, and then you're better than everyone else because you are good, you're smart, and it's a very selfish position here. Whenever they talk, some stuff is true, but it's mixed. We get a lot of those. We get some of that in mediumistic meetings. The spirits that come to talk through mediums, and they start talking in a way, and you start thinking, "Oh, that's a revolved spirit." No, they might talk beautifully, but there's no heart, and they're not even 100% sure about what they're saying. So we have that kind of spirits too. We have the neutral spirits. The neutral spirits, they neither do good nor do bad. They're just living life. They don't have major beliefs on anything, but they don't do harm. They don't annoy people. They're just there. But they're imperfect because they're not building anything good. And we have disturbing spirits. These disturbing spirits are the ones who started, giving the knocks. Actually, they have the ability to do some material manifestations. So they are usually spirits of physics effects. Again, nothing good comes from that, right? Making noise, scaring you, it's not gonna do anything. So basically, these are the main classifications for the imperfect spirit, and let's try to get away from that class and move at least to the next one, okay? And the next one is the good spirits. They're not they're far from perfect, but at least they want to do good. They have a little bit of light within them, that they want to help. They have empathy. Empathy. There's hope. There's hope with those. Here they want to do more good than bad. Somewhere they use their knowledge to the good, to the betterment of the planet where they are. They have a sense of God. They have a sense of the spiritual side of the life. They don't just go through life thinking about the material side. I have to learn. I have to study. I have to make money and build a house and succeed in my job and buy a car and post pictures of trips on the internet. It's not just about that. They have developed a bit more of a heart giving charitable side. What else can I say? Um, those good spirits usually they come with when we think about everybody has a mentor or someone in the family who has discarnate, and they love you, and they protect the loved ones, their loved ones. They watch for they watch for the family, for the friends, and So those are good spirits. So some examples. So again, when we think about ourselves among spirituals, there's always someone there trying to be on your side, trying to help you, trying to support you. And they may not be perfect, but they're perfect for to be your guardian angel, not a guardian angel, but to be your mentor. They're evolved enough to be able to help you. And we each one of us have someone that's helping us. And maybe one day, if we develop the desire to do so much good, we will be one of them one day. Yeah, helping other people that are incarnated here. And let's not forget that those spirits will incarnate. So all the characteristics that they have as a spirit, they will actually bring them on earth because we are who we are, incarnated or discarnated. We're talking about spirits because we want to bring awareness for the presence of them in our lives and who they can be, how evolved are the spirits around us. Okay, but one day they're going to come back to earth and be in your family. They're going to be in your classroom, work with you, your neighbor, and we are going to be spirits. We are spirits incarnated, but one day we're going to be those spirits around places, getting buses or flying places, right? And so whatever we're learning for spirits here, it's learning for ourselves. We need to get to the top of the pyramid. Okay. And then we have the classification of the good spirits. Let me share the screen. So this is the classification for the good spirits. We have the benevolent spirits. They're very kind. So the benevolent spirits, they have one of the wings very strongly developed. They really want to only do good. They're kind. They can't do harm. So those are the good spirits. That's why they usually are hired as your guiding mentor here when we incarnate. So we have the learned spirits. These ones are developing the other wing. They have intellect. What's the difference from the other learned guy from the imperfect spirits? Because these one, they have no passion. They don't do anything bad. They are humble. They're smart. They're intelligent, but you know, they're quiet. They're in a way of they don't need to show off. They don't need to prove anything. They're smart. Maybe they're going to develop their kindness another day, but at least they use their intelligence for good purposes, and they have no passion, no desire to do no vices. So those are the learned spirits from the good spirit side. We have the wise spirits. So the wise spirits, the wing is really well developed. It's they have the moral qualities at its high, at its peak. Might not be so intelligent, but it's a wise person. They have a wise knowledge. They can go in a situation. They are able to judge, in a way, people because they're very experienced. It's like a teenager versus a senior person, has lived a life, has life experience. It doesn't break things because they're mad. So a wise spirit is someone who is, has developed the moral qualities and find themselves in a nice, full moral wing. They're ready to fly. And then we have the high order spirits. These ones have developed the intelligence side. They are noble, they are elevated, and and they also have the heart. Sometimes they incarnate, but when they do, it's for rare occasions, and they come with missions. So the high order spirit, which is the last one from the good spirits, it's like this close to be perfect. They still come to Earth with missions, and they help the discarnate uh, villages and astral cities. They work more on the other side because they're so good, wise, and intelligent. So they have both wings to help now. And we have the pure spirits. And the pure spirits, totally detached from matter. They're so pure, they don't even need to incarnate on earth. No reincarnations are necessary. They're highly intellectual, developed, high kind of heart. Um, and as the name say, they're pure spirit. So there's no classification for that. Once you reach that point, you're going to be doing wonders in the universe. Really close to God. Those understand a little bit more of what's God. They understand more about how we were created. We have this gap of information, even for spiritists, how we became this individual, me, Katarina, how I am someone individualized from this source of intelligent principle, and how it happens we don't know. But those spirits, they're really close to God. When you think about angels, that's the kind of spirit. They're pure, the purest souls, and for us to have access to them, very rare to have an angel itself talking to us. So it might be they might come here, but they have higher work to do. It's like a CEO of a multi-billionaire company. It might come once, but not often, right? They're dealing with higher tasks. So those are the pure spirit. They're closer to God. They understand way more. They have much more answers, and the reason may be that they don't even come to us so often is because they know so much. It's like a scientist trying to talk to a 3-year old, in a scientist's term. So the interaction is a little not so common. So those are the classifications. I have one slide here. Fun fact. We're reaching our end here. As I mentioned, our goal is to become perfect. We are here and we have to try bit by bit. It will take a while, but we'll go. Another point is we don't go back. Everything that we accomplished in this life, we will carry it with us. Everything that we learn, everything that we develop. I think for most of us, if you look at ourselves when you're like teenagers is a phase where you start to become an adult. You know what's right, what's wrong. You have responsibilities and rights to fulfill. How were you when you're that age? How are you today? I think you're much better than that, and I hope so. So in you, I'm not never gonna go back and do things that I used to do when I was younger. We keep on evolving. Next life will we come, we're gonna be continue from where we stopped here. We're gonna go as a child, as a teenager. We're gonna be a much better teenager than the other time. We never forget. Sorry, there is an X, an S. The knowledge that we acquired. So everything that we learned intellectually, we also don't lose it because we're building our both wings. So we're developing our minds and our hearts. And sometimes we may incarnate forgetting things that we learned as a science point of view, just for tasks, for tests, maybe for expiation. They can, our physical body can block intelligence. Like some people are born with intellectual problems, but once they discarnate, they go back to what they were. I may not walk here, but when I'm sleeping, I can walk when I'm sleeping. So we can have it blocked here, but once we learn, if you're a very good, I don't know, mathematician here, your knowledge will be carried on. No wonder we see kids playing piano at the age of 3, because they learned before and they didn't forget. It was not blocked from them. And they can play as a little child a whole orchestra, so a whole symphony. So we carry it with us. And so there's, it's not like, oh, why I'm going to study so much today in this life and try to do good if I'm going to have to come back again. Well, we're building our savings account. Nothing is forgotten. Nothing is lost. And that's my last slide, because the Kardec also talks about the purpose of incarnation. And the main purpose of our incarnation is to evolve, is to go through the bottom level up to the highest level. And we keep on coming back, because as you can tell by now, one life is not enough. We need a lot of lives to be able to one day reach the Pierce state. And I can't wait for that. So, let's do our homework. Let's pay attention to the thoughts. Sometimes, most of the times, the thoughts that come to our minds are from those spirits near us. Or either they talk to us, either they think and we connect to it. So we need to start to think about their presence around us, and who is this presence, how evolved it is. The more we evolve, the more we connect to the better ones. And so let's take advantage of this incarnation and try to go one little step up, because we saw 10 different levels, and there are infinite positions in between. So let's try to move forward and reach the top. No rush, but let's focus at least where we should go. And that's what I have for you guys today. If you have any comments, you can drop on a message. I appreciate you guys being here with me. It's been fun doing online. I think it's easier. It's less stressful, no pressure. But thank you for listening, and I hope we can. Thank you, Patrick, as well, Leo, Danny, and let's keep on working on our journey, right? And I think now I just have to do my final prayer. I don't think there are any comments or questions. So thank you again, and let's Hi, Marina. Good to see you guys here. Tanya, Leo. Oh, that's nice. Perfect. Thank you too. All right. Very nice seeing you guys here. Natalia. That's my TSS group for Thursday studies are here. Good job. I always do some marketing for these studies on Thursdays, right? We learn a lot about this stuff. It's very nice. Good to see you guys. Okay, so let's close this lecture so we can enjoy the rainy weather outside. Let's close our eyes, keep a smile on our faces. Let's think about who could be around us today. A grandma, grandpa that discarnated, a family member that we don't remember, maybe we don't even know, but they're here with us. Let's send our gratitude to the spirit that's been with us, maybe since we're born, guiding us, trying to rescue us from bad decisions, from wrong choices. Let's say thank you. It's a hard work. Oh my God, I can only imagine my mentor. But I'm glad he brought me here. He brought me to TSS and all of us. So let's be thankful to them for trying to keep us on track and trying to build this path towards the peer area. And yeah, let's help each other. Let's build up this path together because it's so hard sometimes. It's so easy to fall off the right way. So thank you to all the spiritual friends that we have that helped us today. Today, let's do it all about them. Let's share gratitude and ask them to continue being with us. Don't give up. They don't give up. But yeah, let's try and do our part too. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday, a great week, and I'll see you guys. Well, we're going to still be online next week. I think until mid May, we're going to be meeting online. So let's connect next Sunday at 11. Thank you, everyone. Have a good Sunday. Bye.